They get the physics mostly accurate. The way gravity pulls, how blood looks when it hits 0 G beating up in perfect spheres that drift like crimson pearls. They nail the sound of metal tearing, the smell of recycled air going stale, even the particular flavor of fear that comes when you realize you're about to die in the dark. But they always miss something. Lieutenant Sarah Chen stood in the prep chamber, rolling her shoulders while the harness systems checked her vitals. Around her, the Cathrin combat assessment team watched with that peculiar stillness their species did so well. 4 arms each, obsidian carapaces catching the blue emergency lighting, compound eyes that saw in spectrums humans couldn't even name. Beautiful, really. In a bug alien sort of way. The simulation parameters have been uploaded, said Commander Vrex, his translator rendering the clicks and whistles of Cathrin into flat, professional English. You've reviewed them? Yep, Sarah flexed her hands. The haptic gloves responded, pressure points checking in one by one, green lights across the board. And you understand this is a termination scenario? You will not survive. The assessment measures how you perform under absolute certainty of death, how long you maintain tactical coherence, whether you— Yeah, I got it. I die screaming. You guys measure how prettily I die. She grinned. It's cool, let's do this. The Cathrans exchanged glances. That thing they did where their headplates shifted slightly, a micro-expression that meant they were having an entire conversation in pheromones and subsonic frequencies. Humans made them uncomfortable. Sarah had figured that out 3 months into the exchange program. Earth's first military liaison to the Cathrin Defense Initiative. Humanity's big chance to prove they belonged among the stars, that they weren't just the new kids who'd barely crawled out of their own solar system before stumbling into a galaxy that had been colonized for millennia. The Cathrans were good people. Professional. Fair. They'd welcomed Earth into their coalition against the Brixtal swarms. Those were different from Brix the person, which still confused Sarah and offered training, technology, cultural exchange. But humans made them uncomfortable. Initiating in 30 seconds. Zrix said. Sarah closed her eyes. Breathed. Found that quiet space she'd learned in basic, the place where fear lived but didn't rule. Her little brother's face floated up. Tommy, grinning gap-toothed in her memory, 6 years old forever because that's how old he'd been when the transport crashed. Not now. The world dissolved. She came back standing in a corridor. Darkness pressed in from both ends, broken only by emergency strips that pulsed red, red, red like a dying heartbeat. The air tasted metallic. Cold bit through her suit, the kind of cold that meant life support was failing. The ship groaned around her. Deep, agonized sounds of metal under stress. Okay, Sarah whispered. Her voice bounced back flat, dead. Okay, assessment. What have we got? Her HUD flickered to life. Suit integrity, 100%. Oxygen, 47 minutes. Weapons, standard sidearm, 8 rounds. Knife. That was it. Environmental scan showed she was on a derelict. Something big. Dreadnought class, maybe. The simulation had dropped her deep in the guts of it, somewhere near engineering if the heat signatures were right. And she wasn't alone. 3 life signs. Moving. Closing. Contact in 60 seconds, her HUD whispered. Sarah drew her pistol. The weight felt good. Real. Even though none of this was real. The simulation was full immersion neural interface, the kind that made your brain believe every input. Pain receptors included. You could die in here and walk away fine, but your body wouldn't know the difference while it was happening. The life signs split up, flanking pattern. Smart. Come on then, Sarah muttered. She backed toward a junction, putting a wall to her spine. Limited their angles. Come, say hello. The first one came fast. It poured around the corner like smoke given shape, too many limbs, wrong joints. A mouth that split vertically and horizontally at once. The simulation had spawned the real nightmare. The thing that had been eating its way through colony worlds for 300 years before the coalition finally started pushing them back. Sarah put 2 rounds center mass. The thing screamed. A sound that bypassed her ears and went straight into her spine turned her guts to water. It kept coming. She rolled left. Her shoulder hit deck plating hard enough to hurt. Fired 3 more times. Knee joint. Center mass again. Head. It went down thrashing. The other two hit her from both sides. One got her arm. She felt chitin pierce her suit, punch through muscle, scrape bone, hot blood inside her sleeve. The pain was electric, perfect, her brain absolutely convinced this was happening. She screamed, couldn't help it, jammed her knife into the soft section under its carapace. Twisted. Hot fluid sprayed across her faceplate. The second one grabbed her from behind. Forearms crushing her ribs, mouth questing for the back of her neck where the suit seal was vulnerable. Sarah threw her head back. Connected with something hard, her vision exploded white, but the grip loosened. She twisted free, fell, fired her last 3 rounds blind. Got lucky. The thing collapsed. Sarah lay there gasping. The bodies twitched around her. Her right arm was useless, hanging weird, blood pooling in her glove. Her HUD screamed warnings. Okay, she panted. Okay, still here. Still. The ship shuddered. New sounds. Scuttling. Clicking. Lots of them. Her HUD showed 20 contacts. 30. 50. Oh, fuck you, Sarah whispered. She forced herself up, left arm only. Grabbed her knife from where it had fallen. Started moving. The corridor branched. She picked right, stumbled into what looked like a cargo bay. Huge space, crates scattered like a giant's toys. Shadows everywhere. The scuttling got louder. Sarah ducked behind a crate. Her breath fogged in the cold. She was leaving a blood trail. They'd find her. Of course they'd find her. 43 minutes of oxygen left. But she'd be dead in 5. Think, she whispered. Think. The crates. She looked closer, saw markings, fuel cells. The explosive kind. A laugh bubbled up. Hysterical, exhausted. Yeah, she said. Yeah, okay, let's do it. She started stacking them. One-handed, clumsy, blood making everything slippery. Built a pile. Found the detonator panel on the nearest one, set it for manual trigger. The Vrixtal poured into the cargo bay. Too many to count. A wave of chitin and teeth and hunger. Sarah stood up. They saw her. Changed direction. A living tsunami. She held up the detonator. Hey, she shouted. Her voice cracked. Fuck you. She pressed it. The world went white. Then nothing. Sarah opened her eyes in the prep chamber. Her body jerked, phantom pain still screaming through every nerve. She was on the floor. When had she fallen? Rick stood over her, all 4 arms raised in what might have been alarm. Lieutenant Chen. Can you hear me? Lieutenant. I'm good. Her voice came out rough. Yeah, good. She wasn't. Her hands shook. The memory of dying, of choosing to die that way, taking them with her. It sat in her chest like broken glass. But she pushed herself up anyway. How long? She asked. 11 minutes, 37 seconds from insertion to termination. Her Fritz's translator couldn't quite hide the emotion in his clicks. You killed 43 hostiles before your final action. Final action. Sarah laughed. It sounded wrong. That's what we're calling suicide bombs now. You denied them resources. Delayed their advance. Protected theoretical Allied positions elsewhere on the ship. The Fritz's headplates shifted. It was tactically sound. Sure. Lieutenant. Rix moved closer. His compound eyes caught the light in strange ways. The simulation was meant to run 3 minutes. Perhaps 4. Most species last 90 seconds before cognitive collapse. The terror response overwhelms them. Sarah wiped her face. Her hand came away wet. Sweat. Just sweat. You fought for 11 minutes. You adapted. You chose your ending rather than letting it choose you. He paused. This is the 3rd simulation you've run this week. Each time you last longer. Fight harder. You should have broken by now. Sorry to disappoint. You misunderstand. His voice went soft. We are not disappointed. We are concerned. Sarah looked at him. Really looked, saw something in the way he held himself. Fear. He was afraid of her. I'm done for the day, she said quietly. She walked out before he could respond. The human quarters were small but comfortable. The Catherines had tried. They'd put in a coffee maker, gotten the gravity exactly Earth standard. even added a small viewport that showed the planet below Cathver's prime, their homeworld, all purple oceans and silver cities. Sarah sat on her bunk and shook. The aftershocks always came. Adrenaline crash, her instructors had called it. Your body realizing the threat was gone, letting all that survival chemistry drain away. She hated this part. Her comm chirped. She ignored it. It chirped again. "What?" she said without accepting the call. "Lieutenant Chen, this is Medical Officer Tierno. Your biometrics show. I'm fine. You experienced full neural death simulation 3 times this week. Your cortisol levels—" I said I'm fine. Sarah closed her eyes. "Sorry, I'm okay. Just need some downtime." A long pause. Then, "There is no shame in requesting temporary suspension of duties. What you're doing, most beings cannot endure this." "Yeah, well." Sarah opened her eyes, stared at the planet below. "Most beings aren't from Earth." Another pause. "This is true." The call ended. Sarah sat in the quiet. She thought about the simulation. The way she'd felt when the Rixital swarmed. That moment of absolute clarity when she knew she was about to die. The thing was, it hadn't been the first time. 12 years ago, Sarah was 14. The transport was going down. She remembered the alarms. Her mom screaming, Tommy crying in the seat next to her, his little hand in hers. "It's okay," she'd told him. The ship was spinning, gravity gone wrong, people floating and screaming. "It's okay, Tommy. I've got you." "I'm scared, Sarah." "I know, me too. But I've got you." The impact. She'd woken up 3 days later. Broken ribs, punctured lung, fractured skull. They'd had to dig her out of the wreckage. Tommy hadn't made it. Neither had Mom, or Dad, or the 147 other people on that transport. Sarah had been the only survivor. The doctors said it was a miracle. Her injuries should have killed her. The amount of blood she'd lost. The trauma. The fact she'd been conscious enough to activate the emergency beacon even with a fractured skull. "You're very lucky," they'd told her. She'd never felt lucky. The next day, Vrix called her to the command center. The room was full. Not just Kit, entrance Prince. There were Set there too. The serpentine diplomats with their iridescent scales. A few Tovians, massive and gray-skinned. Their tusks carved with rank insignia. Even a Quell, gelatinous and shifting in a containment suit. All the major coalition species. All staring at her. "Lieutenant Chen," Rick said. His voice had that formal tone. "Thank you for coming." Sure, Sarah stood at attention. Military reflex. "What's this about?" "We have a mission. Real world. Urgent." He gestured, and a hologram blossomed in the center of the room. A ship, huge, dark, drifting. "This is the Endless Vigil, Catherine science vessel. It went silent 4 days ago in the outer reach. We sent a recovery team." The hologram changed. Showed a smaller ship docking. They reported significant damage, evidence of Rixdal incursion. Then, Rix's head plates shifted. They went silent as well. Sarah's stomach dropped. "How many?" 8 souls. Mixed species. One was—" he paused. "There was a juvenile Kethran on board. Scientist's offspring. 7 cycles old." 7 cycles. That was about 10 human years. Tommy's age. +4. "You want me to go get them?" Sarah said. It wasn't a question. "We want to send a retrieval team. Small. Fast. Extract any survivors and obtain data on the Rixdal incursion. Understand what happened." Rix looked at her directly. "Your performance in simulations suggests you can handle high-stress scenarios. That you can continue functioning when others would collapse. When others would break, you mean?" "Yes." Sarah looked at the hologram. The dead ship. She thought about a kid alone in the dark, scared, hurt maybe, waiting for someone to come. "I'll do it," she said. "You will not be alone. We're assembling a team of 4. You, 2 Catherine soldiers, veterans, and a Torvian combat medic. When do we leave?" 2 hours. Sarah nodded. Started to turn away. "Lieutenant." 5 Eve. Zivi's voice stopped her. The simulations were preparation for this. We needed to know if you could handle it. If humans could handle dying over and over, you mean? Could handle doing it and coming back and choosing to do it again. His translator couldn't hide the awe now. We have never seen anything like your species. The way you confront death. The way you refuse to stay down. Sarah met his eyes. All the facets. All the reflections of herself. Commander, she said quietly, you don't stay down when someone needs help. That's not complicated. She left before he could respond. The shuttle was tight. 4 seats. Barely enough room for the Torvian. Her name was Gorsa, and she had to hunch to fit. The 2 Catherine soldiers were Ven and Kixera. Brothers apparently, though Sarah couldn't tell. They had the same efficiency of movement, the same way of clicking to each other that felt like shared language. They didn't talk to her much during the flight. That was fine. Sarah used the time to check her gear. Real weapons now. Rifle, sidearm, knife, breaching charges, medical kit, oxygen for 6 hours, enough to get in, find survivors, get out. Assuming everything went perfect. It never went perfect. 5 minutes. The pilot called back. Seth scaled and smooth. Readings show the Vigil has atmosphere. Minimal. Hull integrity is failing in sections 3 through 7. Life support offline. Temperature is -40°C. Lovely, Sarah muttered. There are life signs, the pilot continued. Faint. 3 confirmed. Locations scattered throughout the ship. The recovery team, Gorsa asked. Her voice was deep, resonant. Unknown. Could be something else. Sarah's stomach tightened. The shuttle matched velocity with the derelict. Through the viewport, Sarah could see it, massive, dark, holes torn in its hull. A dead thing drifting. Remember the protocol. Then said suddenly. His translator made him sound young. We stay together. No splitting up. If we encounter Vrixtil, we retreat to defensible positions. The objective is extraction, not engagement. Got it, Sarah said. They docked. The airlock cycled. The inner door opened. Cold poured in. Sarah's breath fogged immediately. Lights, Gorsa said. They activated helmet lamps. 4 beams cutting through darkness. The corridor beyond was wrong. Not just damaged, violated. The walls had growths on them, organic, pulsing slightly. Versatile corruption. The things didn't just kill. They changed places. They infested. Made them into breeding grounds. Oh, that's bad, Sarah whispered. Stay focused, Ben said. But his voice shook. They moved in. Standard formation. Van on point, Sarah and Kexera middle, Gorsa rear. The ship groaned around them. Metal settling. Pressure changes. Normal sounds for a dead ship. Sarah hoped. Her HUD showed the nearest life sign 2 decks down. Section 4. They found a stairwell. The lifts were dead, and descended in silence. The corruption got worse. The growths were thicker here, some as big as Sarah's head. They pulsed with a rhythm that might have been breathing. I hate this, Kickstra muttered. I really deeply hate this. Same, Sarah said. They reached Section 4. The corridors here were worse than wrong. They were transformed. The walls weren't walls anymore. They were organic, ribbed, wet, glistening in the light. The life sign is ahead, Ven said. 30 meters. Moving. They approached slowly. A door hung open. Inside, a chamber that had been a lab. Now it was a nest. And in the center, illuminated by their lights, was a Kethran. Female, young. Her carapace was cracked, leaking fluid. 3 of her 4 arms were broken. Hanging useless, but she was alive. And she was holding something. Sarah's light caught it. A smaller Kethran, child-sized. Barely moving. Revika, then breathed. Science officer Revika. The woman's head turned. Her compound eyes were clouded. Stay back, she whispered. Her translator was damaged. The words glitchy. Stay back. We're here to help, Gorvas moved forward. I'm a medic. No. Rivka's voice broke. You don't understand, they're in me. Sarah's blood went cold. The Vrixtil, Rivka continued. They implant eggs inside. I'm already dead. I'm keeping them dormant. My body heat, my movement. But when I stop, she looked down at the child in her remaining good arm. This is Melvin. My son. Please, take him. Run. We're taking you both, Van said. You can't. Rivaka's voice rose. I hatch 30, maybe 40. The moment my body fails, you cannot carry me and survive. Sarah stepped forward. How long do you have? Rivka looked at her, focused through the pain. Minutes. Perhaps. I've been here 2 days. No food. Little water. I feel them moving. Okay. Sarah's mind raced. Okay. Corsa, can you put her in stasis? Slow her metabolism. The eggs would sense it. They'd hatch immediately. Fuck? Sarah looked around, at the corrupted walls. The nest. Is there a way to burn them out? Before they hatch? Not without killing the host. Sarah met Rivka's eyes. Saw the answer there. Take my son, Rivka whispered. Please. He's all I have. All we have. The child stirred, opened small compound eyes. Mother, shh, little one. These are friends. They'll take care of you. I don't want to go. I want to stay with you. I know, beloved. But you must be brave. Sarah felt something crack in her chest, then moved forward, gently took the child. The little Catherine chittered, distressed, reaching back. Mother! Mother! I love you, Melvin. Always. Sarah couldn't move, couldn't look away. You should run now, Rivak said. She smiled. Sarah didn't know Calorans could smile, but there it was. I'll give you time. How? Sarah asked. Rivka raised her one good arm, showed them what she was holding. A detonator. The lab had experimental fuel cells. I've been holding this for 2 days, waiting. Hope. Sarah understood. She stepped forward, knelt, put her hand over Revika's. Hey, Sarah said softly. That's really brave. What you're doing. I'm terrified. Yeah, me too. Every time. Sarah squeezed gently. But you did good. You kept him safe. That's what matters. Will you tell him that? When he's older? That I tried? I'll tell him you were the bravest person I ever met. Rivka's eyes glistened. Catherines could cry. Sarah hadn't known that either. Go, Rivka whispered. Please. I can't hold much longer. Sarah stood. Looked at the others. Move. Now. They ran. Behind them Rivex started counting. Loud enough for them to hear. 10, 9, 8. They hit the stairs. 7, 6, 5. Up one deck. 4, 3. Up another. 2, 1. The explosion hit like a physical thing. The ship shook. Fire rolled up the stairwell behind them. Superheated air. Sarah felt her suit scream warnings. They burst into a corridor. Kept running. Alarms blared. The ship's automated systems, what was left of them, reacting to the catastrophic damage. Behind them Sarah heard new sounds. Scuttling, clicking, screeching. They're coming, Kexera shouted. Sarah looked back, saw them. Dozens, pouring out of corridors, dropping from vents, a swarm of nightmare. Move! Gorsa roared. They reached the dock. The shuttle. The pilot saw them coming, started the engines. The Vrixtil were right behind them. Sarah turned, raised her rifle. Get on the ship. Go. Lieutenant Van started. That's an order. Get that kid safe. She opened fire. The rifle bucked against her shoulder. The sound was deafening in the enclosed space. Vrixtil went down. More replaced them. Too many. Way too many. Sarah backed toward the airlock. Kept firing. Her HUD showed ammo count dropping. 60 rounds. 40. 20. Empty. She dropped the rifle, drew her sidearm. The first Vrixtil reached her. She shot it point blank. Kicked another back. Third one got her leg, Chatin punching through her suit. She screamed. Put 2 rounds in its head. Surah! Someone shouting from the shuttle. She was at the airlock. The Vrixtel were a wall of teeth and claws. Her pistol clicked empty. "Close the door," she shouted. "Close it now." She grabbed her last breaching charge, armed it, threw it into the swarm, dove through the airlock. The outer door slammed shut behind her. The explosion was muffled through the metal, but she felt the ship shudder as the docking clamp blew. They were flying, momentum carrying them away. Sarah lay on the deck of the shuttle, bleeding, gasping. Gorza was over her immediately. "Medkit! Now!" "The kid," Sarah panted. He's safe." Ven's voice. "Close. He's safe because of you." Sarah closed her eyes. The pain was catching up. Her leg was bad. "Really? Stay with us, human?" Gorza said. Her big hands were gentle, sealing the wound. "Stay awake." "Trying," Sarah whispered. She felt small hands on her arm, opened her eyes. The kid. Melvin. He was looking at her with those huge compound eyes. "You saved me," he said softly. Sarah tried to smile. "Your mom saved you. I just helped. She told me humans are very brave. Is that true?" "I don't know about that." "You are." His small hand squeezed. "Thank you." Sarah felt something warm in her chest. Through all the pain. "You're welcome, kid." She passed out. She woke in medical, Kithrin facility. All curved surfaces and soft light. Rix was there. So was Gorza. "Welcome back," Viduak said. Sarah's throat was dry. "How long?" 2 days. "Your leg required significant surgery. The Vrixtil toxins in their chitin are aggressive." "I'll walk again." "Yes, in time." Sarah nodded. "That was good enough." "The child?" she asked. "Melvin is fine, healthy. He's being cared for by his father, Rivka's mate. They're grateful, beyond words." Sarah stared at the ceiling. Thought about a mother counting down her last seconds, making sure her kid got one more chance. "The rest of the recovery team?" she asked, even though she knew. "Dead. We found their bodies. They'd tried to barricade themselves. It wasn't enough." "Yeah." Silence for a moment. Then Vrix said, "Lieutenant Chen, Sarah, I need to ask you something." She looked at him. "You faced death 12 times in simulations, once in real operation. You've been injured severely twice. You've watched people die. And yet," he paused, "you keep volunteering. You keep standing up. Why?" Sarah thought about it. Thought about Tommy. About being the only survivor. About a woman holding a detonator, counting down, making sure her son lived. "Because someone has to," she said finally. "Someone has to be the one who doesn't give up. Who keeps fighting even when it's stupid and scary and the odds are shit." She met his eyes, and I guess I'm good at it. The not giving up thing. "You are." Vathay's head plates shifted. "Your species it's remarkable, terrifying, sometimes. But remarkable." "Yeah, well." Sarah tried to sit up, winced. "We're good at being too stubborn to die." Isa Brix made a sound that might have been a laugh. Indeed. A week later, Sarah was cleared for light duty. She was in the mess hall forcing down nutritional paste, the Kithrin version of food which tasted like sadness and copper when someone approached. It was a Kithrin male, older, his carapace showing wear. He carried something small, and next to him holding his hand was Melvin. The kid saw her and chittered excitedly, broke away, scampered over. Sarah set down her paste. "Hey, buddy." "Sarah, father says I can talk to you." The kid's translator gave him a high, excited voice. "He says you're a hero." "I don't know about that." "You are." The adult Kithrin approached. "Lieutenant Chen, I am Torvas, Rivika's mate. I wanted to thank you for bringing my son home. Or for being with my mate at the end." Sarah's chest tightened. She was very brave. "I know." His voice broke slightly. "She always was. Even when she was terrified, she was brave." "Yay!" Torvax held out what he was carrying. A small box. This was hers. A memory stone. It contains messages, things she recorded for Melvin, For when he's older. I want you to have a copy. Oh. I couldn't. Please. She speaks of you, of what you said to her. It brought her comfort. I want you to know that. He pressed the box into her hands. You gave her peace. At the very end. That is no small thing. Sarah looked down at the box. Felt tears building. Thank you, she whispered. Melvin hugged her leg suddenly, his small arms surprisingly strong. You're my favorite human, he said seriously. Sarah laughed. It came out shaky. I'm probably the only human you know? Still my favorite. She ruffled what might have been his head. Okay, I'll take it. After they left, Sarah sat alone with the memory stone. She almost didn't activate it, but finally she did. Rivax's voice filled the air. Warm, alive, so different from the broken woman Sarah had met. To whoever finds this, I am Rivka, of the Endless Vigil. If you're hearing this, something has gone wrong. The Vrixtal found us. I knew this was a risk. Research always carries risk. But I need you to know, I kept my son safe. Whatever happened to me, I kept him safe. Please, tell him that. Tell him I loved him more than all the stars. Tell him to be brave, to be kind, to explore and learn and never stop asking questions. And tell him his mother died fighting, not giving up, because that's what we do. All of us, every species in this galaxy, who stands against the dark, we fight. We protect each other. We don't give up. Thank you for bringing him home. The recording ended. Sarah sat in the silence. After a long time she stood. Her leg protested but held. She found Rix in the training center. I want to go back to simulations, she said. He looked at her. You've been cleared for light duty only. And after what you've been through, I know what I've been through, that's why I want to train. There are more ships out there, more people who need help. Kids like Melvin. She met his eyes. I want to be ready, for next time might kill you. For real. Not simulation. Yeah, might, Sarah smiled. It felt strange on her face. But I'm not going to let that stop me, because someone has to keep fighting. Someone has to be too stubborn to die. Rick studied her for a long moment. Then his headplates shifted. That might have been very well, Lieutenant Chen. But we're adjusting the parameters, making them harder. Good. And we're assigning you a squad. A mixed species team. You'll train together. Deploy together. Even better, they'll need to learn from you. Your particular talents. Your refusal to accept death. Sarah thought about that. About everyone she'd lost. Everyone she'd saved. About a woman counting down. A kid holding her hand. Yeah, she said quietly. I can teach that. 6 months later. Sarah stood in the same prep chamber. But this time, she wasn't alone. Ben Shixer were there. Korvat. 3 more, Seth pilot named Siv. A Quelm engineer called Bloop. The translator gave up on the actual pronunciation, and a young Torvian soldier fresh from training. Her squad. They were running a termination scenario. All of them. Together. Remember, Sarah said as they geared up. The goal isn't to win, it's to last as long as possible. To fight smart. To protect each other. And if we're going to die anyway, the young Torvian asked. Her name was Kessa. Sarah grinned. Then we make it expensive for them. We take as many down as we can. We buy time for the people who come after us. That's a very human philosophy, Siv observed. Yeah, it is. Sarah checked her pistol. But it works. Question. Bloop burbled. If simulation deems us dead, are we required to stop moving? Sarah looked at them. At all of them. You know what? No. If the sim says you're dead, get back up. Keep fighting. Show it that we don't quit just because some computer thinks we're done. That seems contrary to the assessment parameters, Van said. But he was clicking in a way that might have been laughter. Probably. But that's what humans do. We get knocked down, we get back up, we keep going even when we shouldn't be able to. Sarah moved to the center of the prep chamber. Her squad gathered around. Listen, she said quietly. I've died more times than I can count in these simulations. And it sucks. Every time. It's scary, And it hurts. And your body believes it's real. She looked at each of them. But you know what? Every single time, I got back up. I came back. I asked for another round. Because that's what we do. All of us. Every species that stands against the dark. We don't give up. We don't quit. We fight for each other. We protect each other. She held out her hand. So let's show this sim what we're made of. Kessa placed her massive hand over Sarah's. Then Gorza then and kicks her together. 6 hairs, scaled fingers. Loop's gelatinous pseudopod. Together, Sarah said. Together, they echoed. The world dissolved. They came back in a station corridor. Not a ship this time. Worse. A colony station. Civilian structure. The kind with families. Sarah's HUD painted the picture immediately. Station integrity failing. Sole breaches in sections 9 through 14. Life support at 30%. Temperature dropping. And life signs. Hundreds. Most weren't moving. Oh God, Kessa whispered. Focus. Sarah's voice cut through. Environmental scan. What are we dealing with? Rikstal incursion, Van reported. His voice was steady now, trained. Heavy presence in the lower decks. They're spreading. Estimates suggest 300 hostiles. Maybe more. Civilian survivors. 47 signatures. Scattered. Mostly in the emergency shelter's upper level. Then that's where we go. Sarah checked her rifle. Full magazine. She had 3 more. Not enough. Never enough. Then kicks her up. Point. Gorza, Kessa, cover our flanks. Civ, stay central, watch our 6. Bloop, you're on environmental. I want to know about every breach. Every pressure change. We get survivors to the evac pods. We get them out. And then? Then we blow this station to hell and go home. They moved as a unit. 6 months of training together. Learning each other's rhythms. How Vena thought 3 moves ahead. How Kessa hit like a freight train but needed positioning. How Gorza could patch a wound while still firing. How Civ could slide through spaces that shouldn't fit him. How Sarah didn't stop. They found the first shelter 12 minutes in. The door was sealed but damaged. Something had tried to claw through, almost succeeded. Reach it, Sarah ordered. Kixra placed charges. Controlled detonation. The door blew inward. Inside, 14 Catherines huddled together. Civilians. Workers. 3 juveniles. They saw Sarah's squad and the relief was palpable. Rescue team, Sarah said. We're getting you out. Stay close. Stay quiet. Do exactly what we say. An older Catherine stepped forward. There are others. Section 18. A school. Children. Sarah's blood ran cold. How many? 20. Maybe 30. With 2 teachers. She looked at her squad. Read the same thought in all of them. We'll get them, she said. Bloop. Plot a route fastest path that avoids heavy concentrations. Plotting. But Sarah? The Vrexterdal are converging on that section. They know something's there. Of course they did. Kids were terrified. Crying probably. The Vrexterdal could sense distress like sharks smelling blood. Doesn't matter. We're going. They moved faster now. The civilians struggled to keep up, but Sarah pushed them. Had to. Every minute was life or death. They hit their first contact in Corridor Junction 42. 5 Rixtal. Scouts probably, ranging ahead of the main swarm. Sarah didn't hesitate. Contact front. Light them up. Her squad opened fire. Coordinated. Disciplined. Not panicked shooting but aimed. Controlled bursts. The Vrixtil went down. But the sound echoed. Throughout the station. And in the distance Sarah heard the response. A clicking that grew louder. Thousands of legs on metal. They know we're here, Van said. Good. Sarah swapped magazines. Let them come. Bloop. How far to the school? 300 meters. 2 turns. Double time. Civilians in the middle. Defensive formation. Move. They ran. The clicking got louder. Sarah glanced back once. Saw them. A wave of nightmare pouring around the corner. Too many to count. Seal the corridor behind us. The Seth pilot dropped back. His scales rippled as he slithered at impossible speed. He reached a blast door. Activated manual override. The door started closing. Too slow. The Vrixtel were almost on him. Seva, Sarah shouted. He looked back at her. His translator made his voice calm. Get the children, Sarah. The door sealed with him on the wrong side. For 3 seconds, Sarah heard weapons fire. Septistal, rapid then screaming, then nothing. No, Tessa whispered. Keep moving, Sarah said. Her voice didn't shake. Couldn't let it shake. He bought us time. Don't waste. They reached the school. The door was barricaded from inside. Sarah pounded on it. Rescue team, open up. Silence. Open the door. We're from the coalition. We're here to help. A voice. Muffled. Catherine frightened. How do we know you're real? Because we're here, aren't we? Because we came for you. Sarah's voice rose. Please. We don't have time. They're coming. The door cracked open. A young Catherine female peered out. A teacher. Behind her, Sarah could see small faces. So many small faces. We're getting you out, Sarah said. All of you. Right now. There's too many, the teacher whispered. We can't move that many children fast enough. They'll catch us. Sarah looked back at her squad. Saw the same calculation on every face. Not enough time, not enough ammunition, not enough bodies to protect 30 kids while moving them through hostile territory. The clicking was getting closer. Okay, Sarah said. New plan. Korza Kessa, take the civilians we have and the kids. Run for the evac pods. Don't stop. Don't look back. What about you? Korza asked. Sarah checked her rifle. 2 magazines left. Her sidearm, knife, the breaching charges. We're buying time. Sarah. That's an order. Sarah looked at the teacher. Get your kids. Move them now. You have maybe 5 minutes before this corridor turns into a slaughterhouse. The teacher stared, then nodded. Started gathering children, moving them toward Gorsa and Kessa. 30 kids. So small, some crying, some silent with terror. One stopped next to Sarah. Looked up. Are you going to die? Sarah knelt, met those compound eyes. Maybe, but you're not. That's what matters. My name is Valin. Nice to meet you, Valin. I'm Sarah. Will you come with us? I'll try, but if I don't… Sarah touched the kid's shoulder gently. You'll be brave, okay? You take care of the smaller ones. Valin nodded seriously. Then scampered off. Sarah stood. Looked at her remaining squad. Then Kixera. Bloop. Last stand? Then asked. Last stand, Sarah confirmed. We hold this corridor. Give them time to reach the pods. Together, Kixera said. Together, they echoed. Sarah turned to face the direction of the clicking. The civilians and children disappeared around the corner. Korza's voice echoed back. 5 minutes, Sarah. We'll be clear in 5 minutes. You heard her, Sarah said. She raised her rifle. 5 minutes? That's all we need. 5 minutes of hell. The first Vrixtel came around the corner. Sarah fired. They poured in. A tsunami of teeth and claws and hunger. The corridor became a killing box, and Sarah's squad turned it into an abattoir. They fired until their magazines went dry. Switched to sidearms. When those emptied, they went to knives. Sarah lost track of time. There was only the rhythm. Shoot, stab, duck, roll. Shoot. Her HUD cracked. Something hit her helmet hard enough to spider the faceplate. She couldn't see out of her left eye. The display was dead. Then went down. A brick steel on top of him. Mandibles seeking his neck seal. Sarah shot it off him. Dragged him back. I'm fine, he gasped. Still fighting. Damn right you are. Kixera was laughing. Actually laughing. The clicking sound of Kithran joy mixed with weapons fire. This is insane, he shouted. I know, Sarah laughed too. Couldn't help it. The absurdity. The terror. All of it. Isn't it great? Loop was using their gelatinous form to advantage, absorbing impacts, reforming, striking with pseudopods that hit like hammers. They were going to die. Sora knew it. Could feel it coming. But they'd lasted 3 minutes already. 2 more. Just 2 more. Her rifle clicked empty. She dropped it, drew her sidearm. Last magazine. The Vrixta kept coming. Sarah then shouted, "Behind you!" She spun, fired. The Vrixta dropped, but another took its place. She fired again, and again. Her pistol clicked empty. She dropped it, drew her knife. 1 minute? Gorza's voice over the comm, distant, tinny. 60 seconds. You hear that? Sarah shouted. Blood in her mouth. Didn't know if it was hers. 1 minute. That's nothing. We can do 1 minute. A Vrixta hit her from the side. She went down. Her helmet hit deck plating. The cracked faceplate shattered. Cold air flooded in. The station's failing atmosphere, thin and icy. The Vrixta loomed over her, mandibles spreading. Sarah drove her knife up into the soft tissue under its carapace. Twisted. Hot fluid sprayed across her face. The thing screamed and fell. She couldn't get up. Something was wrong with her leg. Again. Always the legs. Sarah! Kickstra was there, dragging her back. Come on. Come on. 30 seconds. The swarm pressed closer. Then Kickstra stood over her, firing with weapons they'd taken from fallen Vixtal. Bone and chitin spears. Anything. Loop collapsed. Their containment suit was ruptured. Gelatinous mass spreading across the deck. Bloop. Sarah tried to crawl to them. No, Bloop's voice came weak from their suit speaker. Gone. But Sarah, they made it. The children. I'm tracking them. They're at the pods. They're launching. Sarah felt tears mixing with the blood on her face. You did good, Bloop. So did you? All of you. A pause. Thank you for teaching me to be brave. The speaker went silent. Sarah looked up, saw Ven and Kickstra still fighting. Saw the wave of Vrixta crashing toward them. Ven! Kicksra! Fall back! Get out of here! Negative! Ven shouted. We don't leave. The ceiling exploded. No, not exploded. Open. Emergency vents triggered. Atmosphere venting. Everything not bolted down flew upward, sucked toward space, including the Vrixta. They went flying, chittering in confusion, limbs flailing. Sarah grabbed deck plating, held on, watched the swarm get sucked away. Someone grabbed her, hauled her back, a massive hand. Gorza, thought you could have all the fun without me, the Torvian rumbled. Gorza, the kids, on evac pods, all of them. Guess is piloting them to safety. Gorza was dragging her toward an emergency pressure door. Now let's go before this whole station tears itself apart. They made it through. The door sealed. Normal atmosphere returned. Sarah collapsed. Couldn't move. Everything hurt. Venon and Kicksra were there. Bloody. Broken. Alive. Civize. Sarah asked. Gorza shook her massive head. Bloop. Another head shake. Sarah closed her eyes. We saved them, though. The kids. The civilians. 47 civilians. 32 children. All alive because of you. Gorza's voice was soft. Because you wouldn't give up. Wasn't just me. No. But you led us. You showed us how. Sarah felt consciousness slipping. Blood loss probably. Exhaustion. The adrenaline crash. Hey Sarah, Kicksra said. The simulation. It ended 5 minutes ago. It declared us all dead. But we kept fighting anyway. Sarah laughed. It came out wet. Told you. Humans don't quit just because some computer says we're done. The world faded. She woke to shouting. Sarah's eyes opened. She was on the floor of the prep chamber. Medical alarms screaming. Brix was there, and a dozen technicians. All of them moving frantically. She's crashing. Get the heart rate erratic. Pushed too far. Neural feedback. Sarah tried to speak. Couldn't. Her body wouldn't respond. Someone took her hand. Squeezed hard. Then, he was out of his harness too. Standing over her even though he looked like death. Stay with us, he said. Sarah, stay with us. All of you. Back in your harnesses. A medical officer shouted. You're still in neural shock. No. Ven's voice was firm. She stays with the squad. That's protocol. That's what she taught us. Kixer appeared on her other side. Then Gorza, limping badly. They surrounded her. Her squad, battered and broken but alive. You're okay, Kessa's voice joined. We all made it out. The sim ended but we kept going. We saved everyone. Sarah felt herself pulling back from the edge. The alarms quieted. That's it, Rhys was saying. Heart rate stabilizing. Sarah, can you hear me? She managed a nod. You pushed too hard, went beyond the sim parameters. Your neural implants couldn't handle the extended feedback. You almost, his voice broke. You almost died. For real. Sarah found her voice. Hoarse. But there. But I didn't. No, you didn't, because your squad wouldn't let you. She looked at them. Her team, alien faces. Different species, but they looked back with something universal. Family. The children, she whispered, all survived. The simulation extrapolated with the time you bought. They reached the evac pods. All 47 civilians made it too, and you eliminated approximately 300 hostiles with a squad of 6. Those are unprecedented numbers. Sirac closed her eyes, felt the weight lift slightly. Civ and Bloop. Simulation casualties. But they'll want to know their sacrifice mattered. That the mission succeeded. It did. Sarah opened her eyes. Looked at Vrix. We did good? You did impossible. His head plates shifted. That expression of awe again. You exceeded every parameter, broke the simulation. It didn't know what to do with soldiers who kept fighting after death, who wouldn't accept the scenario as written. Yeah, well, Sarah tried to smile. That's the human way. Get knocked down, stand up, ask for round 2. I'm beginning to understand that. Rix looked at her squad. All of you, you've learned from her. That stubbornness. That refusal to accept defeat. It's contagious, Kixera said. He clicked in amusement. Like a virus. But a good virus. The best virus, Gorza rumbled. Sarah laughed. It hurt but felt good. Help me up, she said. Sarah, you need medical. I need to stand. Come on. Van and Kixera helped her. Her legs shook but held. Everything hurt. Her head was pounding. Her body screaming that it had just experienced death and didn't appreciate the experience. But she was standing. Sib and Bloop, she said. Where are they? In medical. Neural recovery. They'll be fine. I want to see them. Sarah. Now. Zik sighed. That synthesized sound of exasperation. Very well, but you're using a wheelchair. Deal. Siva was awake, curled in his recovery tank. Scales dim but alive. He saw Sarah, and his tongue flicked out. The Sath version of a smile. You look terrible, his translator said. Back at you. Sarah wheeled closer. Hey, thank you, for what you did. Buying us time. It was my honor. Siv's eyes were bright. I got 11 of them before they overwhelmed me. I count 11. That's pretty badass. I learned from the best. Bloop was still unconscious, their gelatinous forms slowly regenerating in a specialized tank. Sarah pressed her hand against the glass. They're going to be okay, the medical officer said. Quellon physiology is remarkably resilient. Another day and they'll be mobile. Good. Sarah looked at the squad gathered around. Because we're not done. There are more stations out there, more ships, more people who need help. Sarah, Rick said gently. You've done enough. You've proven everything we needed to know about humans, about what you're capable of. You can rest now. I don't want to rest. Then what do you want? Sarah looked at each of them. Her squad, her friend. I want to keep fighting. Keep training. Keep getting better. She met Rix's eyes. Because somewhere out there, right now there's a mother like Rivka, holding a detonator. A kid like Melvin hiding in the dark. A teacher protecting 30 children and thinking no one's coming. Her voice strengthened. And I want them to know that someone is coming. That we don't give up. That we'll fight through hell itself to reach them. That's what I want. Silence in the medical bay. Then Ven stepped forward. We're with you. All of us. Kixer added. Always, Korvaxa rumbled. Kessa nodded, her tusks gleaming. Even Siv, from his tank. Try to train without me and I'll be very disappointed. Ibrix looked at them all. His head plates shifted in that complex way. You've built something here, he said quietly. Something unprecedented. A mixed species squad that fights like family, Sarah said. Yes, like family. Frix was silent for a moment. Very well. When you're all recovered, we'll begin advanced protocols. Real-world deployments. You'll be designated Strike Team 7. First response unit for high-risk scenarios. Sarah felt a fierce joy rise in her chest. Thank you, she said. Don't thank me. You've earned this. All of you. He looked at Sarah. But you especially. You showed them. Showed all of us what it means to refuse to give up. To stand when you should fall. To fight when you should break. That's not special, Sarah said. That's just being alive. Refusing to let the darkness win. Perhaps, Vix's voice carried warmth now. But you do it better than most. You and your species. It's your gift. Your particular madness. Sarah smiled. I'll take that as a compliment. It is one. 3 months later, Strike Team 7 deployed for real. A mining colony under attack. Bricks to the swarm. 200 civilians trapped. They went in hard and fast. Sarah led from the front, her squad moving like one organism. They'd trained together, bled together in sims, learned each other's souls. They saved 183. Lost 17. It wasn't perfect. But they'd tried, they'd fought, they'd refused to give up. After the extraction, Sarah stood on the colony's landing pad. Watched families reunite, heard crying and laughter mixed together. Melvin was there. His father had brought him. The kid was bigger now, growing fast. He ran up to her. Sarah, did you win? Sarah knelt. She was tired, bruised. Her leg ached. It always ached now, but she smiled. We saved a lot of people, buddy. That's a kind of winning. Father says you're the bravest person in the galaxy. Your mom was braver. Melvin considered this. Maybe you're both brave? Yeah, Sarah ruffled his head plates. Yeah, maybe we are. Velin appeared too. The kid from the school, older now, wearing a youth cadet uniform. Lieutenant Chen. Velin stood at attention, trying to be formal. Sarah stood. Returned the salute properly. At ease, cadet. I joined the youth program. I want to be like you, to help people. Something warm bloomed in Sarah's chest. Then you're already on the right path, she said. Just remember, being brave doesn't mean not being scared. It means being scared and doing it anyway. I'll remember. As they left, Sarah felt a hand on her shoulder. Vrix, you've inspired them, he said. The youth, they want to join the service now. Want to be part of strike teams. Want to learn the human way of fighting. Is that good or bad? Both, probably. He clicked softly. But mostly good. The galaxy needs more people who refuse to give up, who stand for each other. You're teaching them that. Sarah looked out at the colony. At the stars beyond. Somewhere out there someone was scared. Alone, thinking no one would come. Then we better keep teaching, she said. Rix nodded. Indeed. Sarah stood in a briefing room. She was a captain now. Strike Team 7 had grown 20 members, mixed species, all trained in the human doctrine of stubbornness. They'd run over 100 missions, saved thousands, lost some too. Those names were carved in Sarah's heart, but they kept going. The newest member of the team stood before her. A young Catherine female. Nervous. Excited. Cadet Velin reporting for duty, Captain. Sarah looked at the kid who'd asked if she was going to die. All grown up now. Battle ready. Welcome to Strike Team 7, Velin. Are you ready for this? I am. You taught me how. I didn't teach you anything. You were always brave. You just needed permission to show it. Velin's headplates shifted. Pride. Determination. What's our mission, Captain? Sarah pulled up the holo display. A distress call. Deep space. Another colony. Another crisis. Same as always, Sarah said. Someone needs help. We're going to get them. Her team gathered around. Old friends, new faces. All of them ready. Questions? Sarah asked. Just one, Dan said. He was her second in command now. A lieutenant. Do we get to break the simulation again? Sarah grinned. This is real world then. We don't get to restart if we die. Good, Kixera said. His mandibles clacked, the Kethran version of a fierce smile. Then we'll just have to not die. That's the plan. And if the plan fails? Corsa asked. Sarah looked at them all. Her family. Her squad. Then we improvise. We fight. We refuse to give up. We get knocked down and we stand back up. That's what we do. That's who we are. Together, they said in unison. Together, Sarah echoed. They deployed within the hour. The ship carried them toward the crisis. Toward danger. Toward people who needed them. Sarah stood at the viewport, watching the stars stream past. She thought about Tommy sometimes. Still, always, thought about Rivka and her countdown, about Siv buying them seconds with his life, about all the people they'd saved and the ones they couldn't, being alive hurt, being brave hurt, getting knocked down and standing up over and over. It took a toll, but someone had to do it. Someone had to be the one who refused to quit, who kept fighting when the odds were impossible, who showed others that you could be terrified and still choose to stand. Might as well be her. Might as well be humans. Stubborn, fragile, fierce, compassionate, absolutely unreasonable humans who looked at death and said, "Not today," and meant it. The ship dropped out of FTL. Captain, the pilot called back. We're approaching the colony. Situation is bad, really bad. How bad? Vricks still swarm. Massive. They've already breached the main habitat dome. Sarah felt her heart rate kick up. The old familiar fear. But she smiled anyway. Strike Team 7, she said into the comm. Gear up. We've got work to do. The responses came back immediate. Ready. With you, Captain. Let's go save some people. For those who can't save themselves. Sarah checked her rifle. Loaded. Ready. For those who can't save themselves, she repeated. Let's show them what we're made of. The ship descended toward the colony. Toward the screaming and the chaos and the dark. And Sarah Chen, who'd died 17 times in simulations, who'd been broken and rebuilt, who'd learned that being brave just meant getting up one more time than you fell, led her team forward. Into hell. To pull people out of it. Because that's what they did. That's what humans did. They got knocked down. And they stood up. And they asked for round 2. Every single time.